All right, I have a video for you all today of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau being caught on a hot mic talking about Donald Trump during a meeting with Canada's top business leaders. And what Trudeau says about Trump is quite disturbing because MAGA supporters have been claiming that Trump is only joking about taking Canada as the 51st state. He's only using it as a negotiation tactic and he's trying to gain leverage. That's why he jokes about annexing our biggest ally. Yet Justin Trudeau, behind closed doors, is taking this as a very real and serious threat. And he says multiple times during this hot mic recording that Trump is not joking. These are not just empty words or empty threats. Trump is being very, very serious. And I want to play the video for you guys today and talk about the implications of the U.S. alienating one of our closest allies. I mean, just to speak broadly, for decades now, the U.S. and Canada have enjoyed one of the most stable alliances in modern history. We share a border that's not just long, but undefended. We trade over $2 billion in goods and services with Canada every single day, and we've stood side by side in many military conflicts and global economic deals, environmental agreements, and our partnership with Canada and Mexico as well is one of the reasons we've enjoyed such a long period of peace and prosperity, or at least relative peace compared to the 1800s or the early 1900s with all of these global wars. Canada and America and Mexico, all of these Western countries that have come together have helped create a very stable alliance. And now Donald Trump's words aren't just disturbing, they are genuinely destabilizing. They rattle the very foundation of America's relationship with our closest allies. But I'll stop yapping. Make sure you drop a like on this video to help boost this pro-democracy message. And we're getting very close to 1 million subscribers, so make sure you're subscribed. But let's start off with this CNN article. It says, Trump's threat to annex Canada, quote, a real thing, Trudeau tells business leaders. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau told a business gathering on Friday that U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to annex Canada is a real thing. Two Canadian business leaders who were at the meeting confirmed to CNN, and you can even see Justin Trudeau caught on hot mic talking about Trump. We'll play that clip in just 1 second. Trudeau made the comments after delivering an opening address at the summit and after journalists had left the room. They were supposed to be off the record. They were supposed to be behind closed doors, but we have a recording. Honestly, quite disturbing. First, I want to play this clip of J. William J., another creator, talking about Trump's tariffs, and this dude puts it perfectly.
Trump has been doing this thing where he sets the house on fire and then puts it out, and we all supposed to clap. And the more times he starts more fires, the less time we have the ability to capture exactly what's going on.
Especially
so it's just flooding with all this culture war.
shit,
You know, the trade war shit that just happened. Donald Trump just started the dumbest and shortest trade war of all time, and he's getting credit like he won something because it's so.
He didn't get anything. Literally.
Trump, via executive order, threatened tariffs and imposed tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China, our three biggest trade partners by like a long run. He did 25% on all imports from Mexico and Canada. Oil and energy from Mexico and Canada is tariffed at 10%, and he did 10% on all imports from China. He says we're gonna do all that. I'm like, why? This nigga talks about, you know, the fentanyl and the migrants are coming in, and Canada and Mexico isn't doing enough to stop it. Neither is China. China's on the other side of the fucking world. Okay, cool. Because China has an underground fentanyl market. Yeah, cool. You want to know what I found out in the research for this? First of all, back in December, Canada, they signed a $900 million deal to work with the United States and their border to like toughen up the border. They have Black Hawk helicopters. We were just talking about Black Hawk. They have Black Hawk helicopters flying over the border and a lot more like equipment there to stop the fentanyl trade, right? They already did that back in December. Then Trump blew this shit up and is like, no, y'all not doing enough. Ask me how much Canada like makes up of the fentanyl trade.
How much, J. William J?
Less than 10%.
It again?
Less than 10% of the fentanyl that enters the country at all.
Less than 1%, actually. It's less than 1% of the fentanyl street supply in the U.S. comes from the northern border.
Has anything to do with Canada. One of the things that they did to talk up this whole thing, you know, the Trump press secretary goes out there, she's like, oh, you know, fentanyl's killing tens of millions of Americans. Trump and JD Vance are going out there, they're saying, oh, this fentanyl is killing 250,000, 300,000. At the peak of like overdoses and opioid epidemic, like 2022 and 2023 was when it was worse for fentanyl. The top it ever reached was 114,000.
So they are just straight up lying. The Trump people, the Trump press secretary, they are straight up lying and trying to alienate our allies with these lies. But let's watch this video And I urge you to look closely at the subtitles on the screen because, of course, this was caught on a hot mic. The audio isn't very clear.
Excellent. I suggest that not only should the Trump administration know how hypocritical that may be part of why they keep talking about absorbing us and making us they're very aware of what we have, and they very much want to benefit. But
that key line at the end is quite disturbing. He says, Mr. Trump has it in mind that one of the best ways of doing that is absorbing our country. Let me play it again. He said it is a real thing, meaning it is a very real threat. And Donald Trump is not just posturing or using a negotiation tactic. He is being serious. He added that Canada becoming another U.S. state was not going to happen. Quote, Canadians are incredibly proud of being Canadian. One of the ways we define ourselves most easily is, well, we're not American. President Trump, who is a very skillful negotiator, says Justin Trudeau, is getting people to be somewhat distracted by that conversation, to take away from the conversation about 25% tariffs, and also to take away from the conversation about Elon Musk. If you've been watching my videos lately, I have been pounding the pavement on Elon Musk. That's all I talk about nowadays, because I'm of the personal opinion that a lot of the stuff Donald Trump does is a distraction to take away from Elon Musk's hostile takeover. But that's for another video. That's for another conversation. But I just want to be real for a second. Trump does not seem to care about alliances. He is one of the most transactional human beings out there. So he really doesn't care about other countries because he sees the US as the ultimate transactional country where we're giving too much and not taking enough from other countries when we actually benefit from these alliances. America benefits from global stability in many ways. That is why, ever since World War II, after the bloodiest conflict in human history, a bunch of world leaders came together and said, we need to create an alliance to stop this from happening ever again. NATO was created. And yes, ever since NATO, it hasn't been perfect. There was the Vietnam War, America meddled in the Middle East. I'm aware of all of this, but there's not been a huge, bloody world war. And for the most part, all of these Western countries have come together and have built an alliance, whether it's Sweden or whether it's Finland that recently joined, whether it's Denmark. All of these countries in NATO have each other's backs, or at least they did. Now Trump doesn't care about trade agreements. He's actually rewriting the agreement that he negotiated. He doesn't care about NATO commitments. He doesn't care about global diplomacy. He thrives on chaos. And whether it's random 25% tariffs that he pulled back after they even went into effect, whether it's dismantling NATO or floating the idea of taking over one of our neighbors, his clear goal is to disrupt, cause chaos, divide, and try to overwhelm the enemy. But that is why we will stay focused on the ball, whether it's Elon Musk or whether it's Donald Trump's antics. We will stay focused. And just to end this off, Trudeau's warning should set off alarm bells with everyone, not just people in Canada, but people in the United States. People who live in Denmark or Greenland or Panama should all be aware that Trump is being serious. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe, share this video. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.